I can't get out. How I get out? How I get out? How I get out?
Hey everyone, J7Jace here, bringing you a guide on when you should save in Final Fantasy Tactics. Of course, you heard the same old and general advice that you should have multiple save files, you should save your game after you did a lot of JP or XP grinding, or you should have another save file if you want to refight certain bosses or battles. However, in this video, I'm going to go over the best time to save your game so you won't get softlocked and have to restart your game. Now, in Chapter 1, or at the start, there are no real softlocks where you can get stuck. However, I do recommend saving after this first battle, where you only control Ramza, so you don't have to repeat the battle and the two cutscenes that follow after, especially this long cutscene before the battle at Garland. However, if you don't like the name of your generic characters, or if you just aren't happy with their starting bravery, faith, character name, and zodiac signs, you can always reset your game. There's always that option. Now let's fast forward to Chapter 2. This is where we can encounter a few softlocks and also a part of the game where you are limited to only grinding in one area. If you really want to get technical though, you could actually get softlocked in this Dorter battle, but it will just make me question how you defeated Argath and Wheatgraf in Chapter 1. Moving forward into the chapter though, after the battle at the Fenlands versus the zombies, it can be wise to save right here, as once you enter Goug, you can't leave that city to go train or buy other items at other locations. You will be stuck here. But let's say you do win the battle, you will be unable to grind or go back to the other areas of the world map for the time being. The next storyline battle will be at Balias Swale, so this also can be another softlock. And if you win this battle, you can only grind in this one area for random battles, which can be annoying, especially with mind flayers and black chocobos. The last softlock in Chapter 2 is at Lionel Castle, if you beat Gafgarian. Assuming you save over your only save file and can't defeat Cuchulainn, you will have to restart your game here. I don't think he is as hard as some other fights, but assuming you have bad zodiac sign compatibility to not deal enough damage, or don't have the proper abilities and equipment like protector rings, it's probably all over. Moving on to Chapter 3, the first place you can get softlocked is at Lesalia. After the cutscene with Selbag, you can save, however you can't move away from this location and you're forced to fight Zamor. It's kinda like the Mustadio battle at Goug. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone having a game over or being softlocked here at Lesalia, but it is indeed possible. Its chances are higher than 1%. After this battle, Alma will join up in your formation strain and you have to head to Orbonne. You can be softlocked here if you save over your save file, as you have to win 3 battles. The one with the Dragoons, the second versus Islude, and finally the hardest of the bunch versus Wheatgraf, and he also needs to be KO'd completely here. But an easy exploit to work around Wheatgraf's Holy Sword is to buy a Chameleon Robe, so if you have another save file outside of Orbonne, go ahead and buy it, or gain more XP and JP to unlock more abilities. Now for the most infamous softlocks in FFT history, the 3 battles at Riovanes Castle. Well, the first one isn't so bad, but the duel versus Wheatgraf, then the party battle versus Balias, and the fight with Elmdor and the assassins on the rooftop are among the hardest fights in the game. If you aren't careful, this will force you to restart from the very beginning, so definitely keep a save file outside of this place. With the most infamous softlocks out of the way, it is time to go over all the possible ones in Chapter 4. In my opinion, this chapter is a lot easier because damage can really get out of hand, but I'll still go over any potential softlocks. If you decide to start the Beowulf side quest early, and if you save your file in the series of battles at Gollund, you could get stuck here. But like I said earlier, if you can beat Wheatgraf in Chapter 3, this area shouldn't be a problem in my opinion. The Balthier side quest, which can be unlocked after defeating Malidal at Bravinia, is also a potential softlock, even though the fight is an easier one. If you save your save file after reading the Rash of Thefts rumor, you are unable to move out of Dorter, so technically, yeah, you can still get stuck, but I think you have to honestly be trying to lose or trolling people here. Back to the main story, the next location where you can get stuck is at Fort Besselat. if you save after the battles going from the south or north wall. But to me, this battle isn't the hardest nor the easiest one, since the black mages can hit hard with their higher tier magic spells, and the archers are in an ideal position. Again, like most of these areas, I wouldn't be that worried about getting softlocked, but the chances of starting over is still higher than 0%. Now, with Thunder God Cid in your ranks, the rest of the game will be a lot easier, but let's not get too confident, or in the words of Tito Ortiz,
there's cocky and there's confidence, right? Hey, cockiness is always good.
The next series of battles that could be a softlock is at Limberry Castle. The assassins along with Elmdor can be a real pain with their high HP and negative status ailments. Argath can also present some problems because of critical recover HP and his hidden defense boost. And while Zalera is probably the easiest of this group, I'd still be cautious and worried about Nightmare, which sleeps and dooms. But definitely buy Japamala as well as having Protect Rings can help you out here. Jumping a little forward, after you defeat a Dramalik, a new location heading to Mullonde will open up. Because you have Orlando in your party, I still don't think these fights will be that hard, but you could still get softlocked here if you save after the first battle outside the church and after fighting Flamarv and the gang. Zalbag is probably the hardest fight here because he has defense boost, good HP, and he can vampire your units. And the demons here can be a problem as they will scale with your party's level. The last two places in game where you can potentially get softlocked is if you do the side quest Lionel's New Liege Lord, if you save and can't get past any of these battles. Never say never in life, but I would genuinely be surprised if someone ever got softlocked here. Finally, the last place where you can not only get softlocked, but it's also a point of no return, Orbonne Monastery. I don't recommend saving your main file here, so I do suggest saving into a different slot. While I don't consider most of these battles to be the most difficult, Loffrey can be a pain to kill as he has defense boost and protect from Save the Queen, and they both stack. And the fight versus Barrack is probably the most difficult one because of the dragons, behemoths, and if he disables and immobilizes you, so make sure you have Thief's Hat. I didn't find Hashmal to be that difficult, although his stops and slows can be annoying, and lastly, while Ultima has a lot of HP, I found it easy to do a lot of damage to her while she charges her magic in both forms. These are all the potential softlocks in Final Fantasy Tactics. While several of these aren't the most difficult, there are some really infamous ones, particularly Riovanes Castle, then Lionel Castle, and even though not as many people struggle with it, Orbonne Monastery in Chapter 4 is the point of no return, so be careful when saving here. I hope this helps you out in any future playthroughs of the game, or if you really want to troll someone, you could say you got softlocked out because of trying to recruit Balthier. Take care, and all the best to you.